President and COO of Pacific Resources. We made a conscious decision to not embark and build our own exchange. Rather, build a set of expertise to help employers look at exchanges independently and thoroughly. So, as Doug mentioned, our organization only focuses on the national account market space, so really the large employer marketplace. So some of my comments reflect what we're seeing in the national account space, but I would say, however, that some of the comments I'll make, I think, has application in all markets. Similar to most of the employers in our market space, Pacific Resources remains neutral on the current private exchange value proposition. And like our client base, we eagerly await the evidence and the business case supporting the unique economic advantages of private exchanges. We still don't think that that's been proven at this point. In 2014, we conducted our first private exchange survey. It was predominantly done in the Fortune 1000 marketplace, and we're just wrapping up our 2015 results. Some key findings, some good news. 87% of large employers still see benefits as a strategic asset, and benefits continue to be a key component to total rewards. Over 75% of large employers are committed to providing an array of benefits to their employees. But when we asked about their confidence in private exchanges as a viable option for active employees, the opinions varied. It's getting really quiet in here. So in 2014, 5.7% were very confident in private exchanges, about 45% somewhat confident, and 33.9% weren't confident at all. And we're still looking through our 2015 results, but the results are a little bit more polarizing. In 2015, 13.5% of employers are now saying they're very confident, compared to just 5.7% last year. But conversely, 32.7% are somewhat confident, compared to 45% last year, and about 44% have no confidence at all, as compared to 33% last year. And additionally, a caution flag to the exchange vendors. We do think that there's a need for greater transparency in the exchange marketplace, so I would take note. We dropped in a new question in our exchange survey this year, and we said, how would you assess your understanding of the revenue sources of exchanges, as well as the expected revenue level required to administer the exchange? Only 9.8% of the employers said vendors had provided a thorough description of all fees and commissions that would be generated by this exchange. About 37% of the employers said vendors had provided only a limited information with regards to fees and commissions, and almost 40% said there has been little to no discussion about fees and commissions earned by the vendor. So I encourage the exchange marketplace to be very transparent about this, or I don't think the market will advance any further. So let's examine some of the top reasons why private exchanges are purporting why you should move. Cost savings and defined contribution, increased employee choice, empowering employees, administrative ease, and reducing the HR burden, and certainly integrating benefits administration and other function. So when you look at the value proposition around cost savings and defined contribution, an exchange is basically saying it's an ideal opportunity to shift to defined contribution. And we actually agree. We think this is an opportunity, not the only, but it is a wonderful opportunity. But what we're seeing is very few employers are actually sticking to that contribution. We're starting to see more creep and really kind of sticking to the old way and increasing those defined contributions over time. So at this point, most of the savings from private exchanges have been coming from cost shifting to employees rather than really controlling costs. So when you're looking at cost shifting, I think looking at claims, historical your spend, claim patterns, and the migration patterns to different type of metallic plans is going to be very important to build your economic business case to really justify an exchange. You know, from our perspective, so far, and I do mean so far, there's really no novel exchange strategy that is actually bending the cost curve when it comes to healthcare savings. You know, things like telemedicine and ACOs and these emerging new resources, we think those are some strategies that will help bend the cost curve and kind of influence physician behavior as well as wellness is, I think, the silver bullet around really, you know, introducing consumerism and really having an impact on the healthcare cost curve. That's if we can get it right, because that's a difficult nut to crack. Increase employee choice and empowering employees. Consumerism is here to stay. We think that is an absolute. The days of one size fits all is come and gone. The more financial onus you put on your employees, the more demand will happen in terms of choice. You got to give your employees greater choice. So decision support, technology, and things of that nature will help your employees make really good informed decisions. But we would caution you, too much choice can lead to indecisiveness. And so you need to be very careful in that area. Administrative ease and reduced HR burden. Absolutely, we think by moving to an exchange, you know, partially or completely outsourced to an exchange, you will get administrative ease and relieve some of the HR burden, but there will be some standardization that will go along with that. And you know, lastly, integrating benefit administration and other functions. We believe there is no question that the high quality private healthcare exchanges can create one-stop shopping for your employees and help HR. In addition, they can integrate other vendors and ensure compliance. We don't question that, but we're actually here to tell you that you don't necessarily have to move to an exchange to accomplish that. We believe, and we've seen it in our marketplace, that with the advancement in benefit administration, SaaS technology, and other vendor services, that employers can do this and still outside the realm of a private exchange. And so those are the things that you need to be considering. I think this is going to become a balance between commoditization and customization. When you look at the exchanges, they need scale to become effective and to really be recognized in the marketplace and to drive change at the macro level. But in order to get scale, they need to standardize. So from our standpoint, exchanges, as they stand today, serve as a tactic and not a strategy. And they're a potential solution, but they're not a cure for managing your healthcare costs. But I believe the evolution of these solutions will determine their future.